Hello all, good morning, good evening or good afternoon based on wherever you're seeing this. Now before we begin, let's a quick announcement that if you haven't subscribed to the channel, go ahead and hit the subscribe button if you don't want to miss any updates around Business Central ecosystem, right? So let's get into it. So if you have watched the previous video where we are talking about the announcement of the preview version of 2025 release wave 2, we did discuss about an update which didn't work back then. And I'm not saying that somebody from Microsoft watched this video and said, oh, sorry Saurabh, we missed out that update, we'll roll it back. But the feature is now available and I think it's important to talk about it. So let's quickly understand what that is. So for people who did not have watched that video, just to give you in context, this is the feature that we are talking about, which is update Sandbox environment to preview version. And we'll talk in detail of why it is important, what makes it important, and what benefits you have if you update your preview Sandbox environment to preview. But let's quickly try doing that. Okay, so I already have two BC 26.4 and one BC 26.5 environment. I've already scheduled one for doing update. That's still not happening. It's scheduled, I guess. Let me see. Yeah, it's scheduled for 27, but how you can do this, let's have a look. So you get into a Sandbox environment, head up to your update settings section, which tells you what is your current version, what is the latest version that's available, and then when you are scheduled for. So currently you will also notice that you have scheduled for 27.0, which will happen when it gets released, which is somewhere in next month. And then what is the update to next major version, which is 26, that's version 28. And then you will also notice what time you have set that you want system to be updated. Now what I can do here is I can come into the modify section and say, okay, currently it's targeted for version 27, that's planned, but now I also have an option to choose 27.0, which is a preview version, and that's available. So I can choose this, then I can pick a date. Okay, so if you're not able to do it like this, like me for today, but you need to make sure that you have this boolean on, which is allow update to run outside the update window. When you set it to true, system does not respect the time setting here that you have defined, and only do it for sandboxes. Okay, as in only change this setting for sandbox, never change it for production, never. So here it is, and then I can go back and change that date and time for today. Once I set it to schedule update, what will happen? There's an automation running behind the scene which will pick this up and it'll get updated to version 27.0 preview, my Sandbox environment, right? So I've already scheduled this one, so in some time I guess the system will pick it up. But let's talk about it, why we are talking about it, right? So what is a preview environment? Historically, the preview environment were meant for developers and consultant for two major things. For consultant, that they can test out the new features that are available in the product, saying, okay, this is coming up now, there is an agent, there is this new feature, so that they kind of be ready with it, right? Plus it is surely for the developers because they get that upper hand on fixing the code changes that are needed for the next version if their app is not compatible. At the same time, it is also used by the app provider for Business Central, that if their app is not compatible, they can start working on it. So that is what and how we have used the preview version till now. Now what happens with this update when you can update an environment, a Sandbox environment, to the preview version? Now normally what happens is once the major version is announced, which is 27.0, that'll come next month, typically partners will create a Sandbox, update that to version 27 and ask customer to test it out. Now let's be very fair, and if it is only me, let me know into the comment section. Customer still would like to test their major critical processes before the updates are rolled out on their production. we haven't reached to that point where I would not use the word trust, but maybe the word is trust. Okay, we don't trust the updates right now without testing them. Now let's take an example. Somewhere around 9 p.m. tonight, you get an update on your phone saying there's an update available. Just click on this button, make sure you have a Wi-Fi connection enabled, and we'll update for you. You will typically go ahead and click on it and go for sleep and do it, and in the morning when you open your phone, it'll be updated to the latest version. That the same behavior is happening on Business Central Cloud right now. But because it's a business solution, or because we have seen issues within upgrades in the past, I don't think we have reached that stage where we trust these updates to happen automatically and nothing changes for us, right? Whereas that's true, that's how it is supposed to be, right? So what customer typically would like to test out at least their critical business processes to make sure before the update gets rolled out. So you create a sandbox environment for them, they test out their critical features, which only gives them that window, which have a pretty limited time. The other thing that is that some partners like us would like to do a webinar or a in-house webinar for our customers only, where we walk them through around the new features that are coming in the next version. Now that makes a lot of sense for us because we are showing it on a Cronus environment that, okay, this is the feature, this is how you use it, this is the benefit. So we kind of explain them about what's happening. Doing it on a Cronus environment makes a lot of sense maybe to developers and consultants, but when you think about it from a customer perspective, it's not what they were expecting. They were expecting to see that demo with their own data. Now till now it was not possible to do those new feature trainings and possibilities with the upcoming version with their own data. So it didn't make a lot of sense to do trainings before the actual version is actually announced. But now think about it, you can actually spin up the sandbox, update it to preview, and then train them on new features and functionality even before the general availability of the product. So they kind of understand that example because you're showing them on their data and they are seeing their processes, their buttons, their actions, their customer images and all, which all make sense to them, right? The other thing that you need to remember that it's a win-win situation for everybody. Now let's talk about it. Partners we know will be able to fix out the issues earlier because they can fix it out on the preview versions. Great. Customers will be able to test out those features with their own data. And for Microsoft, till now, they were relying majorly on developers and consultants to test out those features and then get some bugs from them. Now, we surely cannot test out every process in the system, so we might miss most of them. But when customer tests it on preview, they'll be able to test out everything that is applicable to their business. Because they're testing their processes, they're not testing version 27. So I expect there will be a good amount of bugs, if there are bugs. Sorry, but if there are bugs, Microsoft will get notified about those bugs from the partner ecosystem as customer reported to their partner, and more issues will be fixed before the general availability of the version actually happens. So it's very important, and I think it'll be a big value add when it comes. But as of today, I don't know how many partners are doing that for their customers, but if not, you should be doing it. It's always good to test early rather than waiting for the last time of the update. I think you should be doing it. If you're not, let me know. If you think that there is a better way to use preview versions, the things that I haven't explained in this video, let me know into the comment section. Do you think customers will be ready to test out features on their data on preview? I don't know. I'll have to talk to my customers and understand it. But it's very important that we get into that cycle of early updates with previews, early testings with previews, early bug reporting, and then the GAs should be as smooth as we want it. Make sense? So if you find this helpful, please do like, share and subscribe to the channel. And if you have anything else that we haven't talked about it on this video, just let me know. We'll surely cover it in the upcoming videos. I'll see you sooner than later into the next video. Till then, keep learning and keep sharing whatever you're learning, because that's how that's the thing that I think is funny or is useful, right? So I'll see you sooner than later. Till then, bye bye.